Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
We'll begin tonight's special meeting with an invocation. Would you be so kind, Councilman Gill? Please stand.
Lord, as we embark upon this meeting tonight to conduct business of the city, God, I ask that you grant us wisdom, Lord, to conduct it in a way that is pleasing to you and benefits the city. God, let us be reminded that this is a month of Thanksgiving. This is a week of Thanksgiving, and your word says, in everything give thanks. And as we come here tonight, God, I just want to honor you. I want to give you thanks for the many blessings that you have bestowed upon us. And I ask that you continue to bless this city and as we move forward in Jesus' name. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilman Gill. I now call to order this special City Council meeting, November 24th, 2025, City of Oak Hill, West Virginia. Our clerk will now give our roll call.
Mayor Charles Briscoe.
Here.
Ward 1, Diana Janey.
Here.
Roger Evans.
Here.
Terry Van Buskirk is absent. Ward 2, Chris Gill.
Here.
PJ Elder.
Here.
Tim Buskus.
Here.
And Councilman at Large Bill Hannabass is absent.
All right, thank you. Moving into our unfinished business. Number 1 is the consideration of the Planning Commission's recommendation on the vape shop ordinance tabled from the last meeting. This is the second reading.
Is there any questions about this? We've gone over it a couple times. The vape ordinance limits the amount of space that you can have between those, 1,500 feet, and then also the addition of the clause where it has to be that far away from churches, synagogues, all other religious institutions. Is there any other questions about that?
That's all in that first paragraph, right?
Correct, sir.
Tim, did you want to say something?
No.
Okay. All right. May we have a vote, please?
Mayor, I'll make a motion to accept this as the second reading.
I second it.
We have a motion and a second to accept the consideration of the Planning Commission's on the vape shop ordinance. This is the second reading. All those in favor? All those opposed? The motion is carried. Number 2, the consideration of election changes. This was tabled from the last meeting. This is also a second reading.
So the election changes, as we went over before, this is in accordance with the new laws set forth by the state. The main part of this is that we will now be having the counties to run our elections. This will save a tremendous amount of staff time and money, and it will also align us with a larger crowd, being that this will be now on the general election ballot for the president and governor and all of the other major elections, hopefully increasing voter turnout. So it's positive in many ways. The caveat is we're extending your all's term for a little bit to get that lined up with the current elections. Does council have any questions about the ordinance as I proposed it?
So our term's going to be extended to December 31st of 2028, correct?
Correct, sir.
There's an 18-month extension.
Right.
And that's permitted by state code. Specifically, the state code allows that for this purpose.
Because then the election would be held in November of 2028, and then whoever is elected there would take office on January 1st of 2029,
Right.
or January 2nd of 2029.
Correct.
So you just need a motion for that?
Yes.
I'll make that motion for the consideration of election changes to line us up for how they want to do it in the county.
I second it.
All right. Barring no fighting with you guys, if you can stand each other that long, 18 more months.
I think we can do
Now,
it.
we have a motion and a second to adopt the election changes. All those in favor? All opposed? Motion is carried. Number 3, our consideration of creating a new ordinance for the city logo associated with Code 1.06.020. This is the second reading.
So this was proposed recently. Councilman Gill brought this up in a meeting, and after some research and looking for, we came up with what we proposed to council, which is a ordinance that changes the current ordinance in place, which only referenced the city seal. This also references city logo and any other branding materials that we may use in the future, such as the one that we've been working for the park system. So without express written consent from the council or city manager, this cannot be used for any application at all. So it's now going to be in code that you can't use it on any promotional materials without our express authorization. And that is the penalty for that is actually pretty massive. If you look at that, if you send out 1,000 flyers with our logo on it, you could be penalized
For each flyer.
for each flyer that was sent out.
So we are still got the paperwork in and waiting on trying to get it like trademarked or
Yes, we're still
whatever.
trying to
This
get
is
the
just
trademark.
in our ordinance.
This is going ahead and getting it started as far as that
Just
goes.
saying
The
that it can't
trademark
be
is a
used.
national thing,
Right.
of course.
But this is saying that no one can
No one
use
can
this
use it
now.
without our consent.
All right.
May we have a motion?
Is that your motion, Chris?
I'll motion to accept this as a second reading for the consideration of a new ordinance for the city logo associated with 1.06.020.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to accept the creating a new ordinance for the city logo. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion is carried. Number 4 will be an anticipated executive session, unless anything has changed.
Yeah, we're not going to do that.
Okay. All right, then we are moving along to new business. New business. On October 20th, 2025, the Planning Commission made the recommendation to council to approve the zoning classification change for the property owned by Christopher Toller, located at 116 Mall Road, parcel 9-4-64, from B2 General Business District to B3 Highway Business District.
So, this has been approved with, I don't know, was it a unanimous decision by the Planning Commission? Yes. Okay. So there was a little bit of discussion with the Planning Commission. The general consensus was that they were going to approve it. However, they didn't feel that this would, Mr. Toller's use might not be the highest and best use of that property. He's talked about putting storage units and having a storage yard there, which would be allowable in this, for this change. Is that correct?
Yes, it's current. Can I step up there?
Please,
Yes,
please do.
She's got all the paperwork.
I do. Did you guys get a chance to look at SharePoint at any of these documents for this item?
I did not.
No? Okay. I'm going to hand those out so you can reference them.
So, you said storage buildings. Is this the same guy that had the storage buildings there last year that we had the issue with?
No.
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you have that. Thank you.
Currently, that parcel is split into two uses. So it's all one parcel, but he uses half of it to rent to G1 Repairs, which that usage as an automotive repair center is permitted. The other half is rented to Michael's Electric, and it is a storage yard. It's heavy equipment storage. Either way you look at it, it is not permitted. It could be conditional, but Mr. Toller opted to go for a land classification change instead of going for a conditional use permit. He would like to see more flexibility with the classification of a B3.
So, he's currently, that whole lot that he has there is currently B2? Am I?
Yes. Yes.
What is everything else around there?
It's at the end of Mall Road, so all of like Kroger, it leads to Kroger, Big Lots.
Everything's
Everything in
B2.
red, everything you see in red there is B2, and the parcel is the one right here highlighted.
So it would be a spot zone.
So all the reds B2?
Yes.
All the ready B2.
So, can I ask a question here? And I know and some of this you may not know. I was looking here at the background, and it says prior owner Deluxe Transportation, who used that part of it for the same purpose before this guy had it. Leased to Michael's Electric without a conditional use permit.
Yes.
So they just did it.
Yes.
Kind of like, I apologize for some of the stuff you're falling into. People just doing things in violation of B2 zoning. And the city notified Deluxe Transportation at that time that the conditional use permit was required for them to park the trucks and do what they were doing.
Correct.
Okay. Then it appears here Deluxe stated that the use would be discontinued because the property was being sold and their account ended. So they sold it, they got out from under, it's no longer their problem no more. And then Mr. Toller was informed by the city prior to purchasing the property that the use of the property as a storage yard violated the zoning regulations
Without a conditional use.
without a conditional use permit. So he was aware of that, right?
From my understanding, yes.
Yeah, and then due to the zoning issue, the city has not issued a municipal license to Mr. Toller for leasing the property to Michael's Electric.
Yes.
So they don't have a business license. He was told that he had to come and get a conditional use, and he submitted a license application on September the 5th. And it says the start date is August the 1st, but I guess that hasn't been approved because it doesn't have a zoning, right?
Correct.
And then Michael's Electric, for conducting business within the city, doesn't have a business license.
They never
Because it says
have.
they're not collecting B&O from them either.
Correct.
So they're just... this is just my opinion, but I would ask that everybody go in and state their opinion of it. And I wish everyone was here, but is that I think I think he should have to apply for a conditional use permit. Myself, I'm not a fan. We've been stiff on spot zoning since the beginning, and I'm not in favor of spot zoning. But
I agree.
someone can, convince me why. Maybe if you are, please tell me why and help me see it, because I'm thinking apply for a conditional use permit because Michael's isn't going to be there forever. They're subbed out for this power contract. That's the power lines that's going in. And then that's a spot zone in the middle of, what is 6 and 3 and 7? That's outside the city, right? That's a parcel that's outside city limits.
Yeah, what is that, the one stop right
Yeah,
there?
that looks like that's
Yeah.
outside city limits, right?
Yeah, it's a donut hole, so to speak. It's not in city limits, strangely enough.
Yeah, so I mean, that would be putting that one spot right there at B3 to do whatever with. So please, go ahead. I know you're itching to say something. Help me out.
I don't know if that's the case. So that whole area is next to a highway. I think that it's a bigger conversation of zoning in a comprehensive way. However, there are certain types of storage units, facilities that are also conditional in a B2. So I do think that there still would be room for Mr. Toller to execute some of the, ways that he wants to use this property, even through going through the BZA for conditional uses. Now, if there are other thoughts that he has around what he specifically wants to do other than storage, I'm not aware of that.
Right.
But I understand the hesitancy to spot zone.
So, I guess in the past, I kind of wish Mr. Hannavass was here because he was maybe more familiar with it. I think in the past we got into some problems with some spot zoning throughout the city. And I think it's haunting us today. So
Yes.
everybody is leery about just jumping in. I know things may have been done in the past, but leery of just jumping in and spot zoning. For this one and not this and this and this. And I kind of like what you said, being along the highway, maybe the whole area might have been better to be in a B3 or a larger conversation. I through the comprehensive plan or something. I understand that too. The blue right there, what is
That's an R2.
That's R2, It's residential. So there is no B3 near there.
We don't have a lot of B3. If Tyler zooms out,
The piece up by the Pizza Hut down there is a B3, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the Holiday Lodge and the property adjacent to it
Yeah.
is a B3. Is there any others?
I see the zoning there says B3 says Highway Business District.
One, just the one. That's the only B3 we've got.
And so everything else is B2.
I mean, if I may say, I think looking at the entire zoning in a comprehensive plan is the way to go with this. It's changing the zoning for one parcel like that with the spot zoning, so to speak, I don't think is a really good idea.
I don't like it myself.
I mean, there's places where you've got some weird holes and some zones where things are, but
Can you elaborate on that, what they were thinking? What the planning commission, what they had said? Why?
They think
I
that
hate to put you on the spot.
that's okay. They think that it made sense for it to be B3 due to its location. And they agreed that the property would be suited for more flexible use.
I can't not argue that. But like you said, the whole area would be better.
Right.
I
And it
think.
was unanimous from the planning commission, everybody voted.
We had quorum. There were 4 out of the 6
What's
members.
that?
We had a quorum of 4, so we didn't have all 6 members present that evening, but the 4 that were present voted unanimously.
May have anything they want to add, ask? I just feel the same
He originally applied for a conditional use permit, but then chose to attempt rezoning. I just wonder why the members of that board, because I didn't think we were going to do spot zoning. Is that what that is?
Would this be spots? Yes.
So he could apply for a conditional use permit through the BZA,
Yes.
and he could do what he's doing now
Yes.
and get the license now.
Yes.
And then we could, through a larger scale of zoning comprehensive, look at maybe doing more B3 along
Yes.
that area up there.
Yes.
That's what I like myself. As for me, I'm not trying to persuade anyone, but that's just me.
The conditional use permit, I could go with that just because it's just for that, right? And then for whatever reason, if he sells or decides to do something else, then we're not stuck in the spot zoning deal with the change in one area from B2 to B3.
Can you throw up what B3 is allowed in B3? If you was to grant it,
One moment, please.
Now, we do have Mr. Toller here this evening. I don't know if he'd wish to speak.
It's going to be really hard to look at that.
Okay, I understand.
because
it's the land use table. That just, when you said that, I was like,
I
oh,
just
that
now
is the
thinking that
land use
it's going to be
table.
very hard to look at that
It's going to be
table.
hard to see.
Yeah, that's fine. That's okay. That's okay.
You want to make a motion on what your ideas?
Does anybody have anything you want to say, add, or discussion? Yeah.
Mr. Toller, would you like to address the council?
Number one, we don't know what we're going to do with that property. My son owns it.
Would you mind coming up to the,
Come to the podium just so the microphone's
Thank
picked
you.
up, please. Thank you.
When we bought that property, we thought it could be used for a lot of different reasons. The Planning and Zoning Commission kindly thought, well, they'd like to see some more retail. But if you look at the malls down there, most of those have got a lot of empty spaces that's never been filled with retail. But that property there is kind of a rugged-looking piece of property, and it's going to require a lot of additional work before it could ever be developed for some kind of retail business and things of that nature. But we felt like when we bought the property and looked at it, that it was the B3 zoning, which is allowed in the city of Oak Hill. And if you got B3 zoning, I don't know why you would be hesitant to zone something. That's a highway business district there. And it's not in a confined, it's not inside the mall area there. That's all B2. But this is kind of outside of that, separate from that. And we just felt like that, for whatever we decide to do with it in the future, that the B3 zoning would be something that would be more suitable, that we wouldn't have to go back to the town for to get a different zoning and trying to get zoning changes made on it. So, that was our plan to do with it that way, and we wanted to try to comply with the zoning code with that laydown yard being there. And but they're not going to be there very long. I think they told us until February is when he was leaving. So. But it's I can rest assured one thing: we won't put anything in there to be negative. I mean, most of our development, I've got $20 million worth of property in Raleigh County, most of Harper Park over there, and we've not developed anything that anybody or any town or any municipality would be ashamed of. Anything we would do with the property would be something that would be beneficial and would be productive for the city of Oak Hill, I mean, we were just trying to alleviate having to go back and go back and go back. We just looked at the uses in the B2 and B3 zoning, and we felt like that the B3 zoning would better suit us for any possible thing we'd want to do at a later date.
would you be opposed to getting the conditional use permit and then giving council some time to look over the zoning changes?
No, it's, I wouldn't be it wouldn't bother me that much if we wanted to do a conditional use permit. But like I said, the reason we done it is to try to keep from having to come back later on if we decided to do something that, but if that's what the city council wants to do, that's your all's prerogative. But, my stand on it is if you've got B3 zoning in this town, and it's a highway business district, which that is, right on the main highway, then I don't see why, you may say it's spot zoning, but maybe the whole area has been zoned improperly to begin with, I know B2 is a business zoning, but B3, highway business district, I would feel it is more suitable for that property, so. But, it's left up to you all. You all are decision makers. And, but if you got the conditional use permit, we would have to go along with that, But we don't know what the conditional use is going to be right now. That's the problem,
Right.
Because we're on a short term with that other people there, and that's why we wanted to go with the B3 zoning.
We could do a conditional use for the storage, right, or the lay down.
I don't think we're going to put a storage
You
facility.
don't think
No.
it's-
If we was going to put anything in there in storage wise, it was going to be like larger buildings that we could offer storage for boats, campers, and things of that nature for winter storage, not the regular small storage buildings.
That's
That's about the
permitted in
only
B2.
storage thing, and it's got a billboard on it also too, and I think that's I think that's a B3. That billboard's been there for quite some time.
All right, thank you, Mr. Toller. It's up to you all.
So what would the conditional permit, what would that allow him to do?
Depends on what he applies for. He has to state what he's going to use it for when he applies for that. So the BZA can determine whether or not that's a suitable use of the property.
So, if that's you gotta have 2 months worth of readings, even if you was to accept their recommendation, right? You'd have to have another. This would go into January before you could pass it, right? Am I correct with that, or am I thinking wrong?
I don't, Mr. Fowler, we're not really changing an ordinance. Do we have to have 2 readings of a zoning change?
I think you do.
I think there's a 30-day period you have to.
30-day wait period in between?
And I think you have to have a public hearing on it if you're changing. I think I'll have to research. I didn't look into it before I came over. I know we've done it before, but
I think so.
the issue here, as I see, and the one that does raise some concern, and I don't disagree with anything Mr. Toller said, and does much work, but the spot zoning is an issue. And that's what's requested. That's all you can act on tonight.
Yeah.
Is that, and that's generally something cities try to avoid.
Yeah. So what I was thinking too was if he said they're out of there at February, if it takes us all the way up to 30 days, we're into January before we could even pass something, then I don't know that helps anything. I mean, it does for him for a B3, and I don't disagree with you one bit. I think a larger thing needs to be looked at there on a bigger scale, other than just that one little spot, a whole. Because I agree with you, but the thing that we've had is we've had a lot of problems over the past few years of spot zoning one little spot in the city to something other than what's not around it, and it's caused a lot of turmoil. I just should put it that way.
The comprehensive plan, when do we do that?
We're working on that. Hannah, can you elaborate on that? Because you're involved in that.
Yes. So zoning is the second phase of the comprehensive plan. Right now, we're still in phase 1. I do not recall what specific month we are going to start on zoning. I know it will be next year, potentially mid-year 2026. So
I was thinking it was closer to fall
yeah.
of next year before that portion will be in place.
I know we start with zoning before we do signage, and signage is like December 2026. So sometime between mid-year and December is when we'll start with zoning.
So if we did the conditional use permit, and then after they do whatever they do, and then they see the whole bigger picture, might need to be a B3.
I don't know how to, I guess, exactly word this, but I'm going to motion that we Trying to think of how to word this. So this is a request, right? A recommendation?
Yes, this is a recommendation from the planning commission.
Okay, I'm going to make a motion to not accept the recommendation from the planning commission for the zoning, the spot zone to B3 at this time, and refer it back to future. What am I trying to say here? Consideration for a larger area
For
there.
the comprehensive planning
Yeah.
process.
Yeah, and advise Mr. Toller to seek a conditional use permit for the time, for now.
Second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you. I think that is the end of our agenda. Does anyone have any comments? Mr. Toller, thanks for coming. Happy early birthday to Councilman Janey. And if not, all minds are clear. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you at home as well and to all of you here. We are now adjourned. Have a good night.
Thanks, everyone.